What do you see when you look at a crocodile? Is it the cold, unblinking eye of a prehistoric killer? Do you imagine a mindless eating machine? A relic from a lost world that has somehow survived into our own? For centuries, these magnificent creatures have been shrouded in mystery and fear. They are the villains in our stories, the monsters in our nightmares. We see them as indestructible, armor-plated beasts that rule the water's edge with brute force and an insatiable hunger. These images have been passed down through generations. They paint the creature as more myth than animal, an embodiment of our deepest fears lurking beneath the surface. This perception, however, is a carefully constructed illusion. A story built from half-truths and outright fabrications. Are they ancient? Yes. Are they powerful predators? Absolutely. But are they the mindless, invincible monsters of legend? Not at all. The truth is far more complex and far more fascinating. They are intelligent. They are sophisticated. They have complex social behaviors. They are caring parents that gently carry their hatchlings. The same jaws can also crush bone. They are masters of their environment, patients who can explode into power. The myth gives us a simple monster. Reality reveals a true survivor. Over the next 20 minutes, we'll peel back the layers of legend and look at the real animal underneath. We'll journey into their world to separate fact from fiction. We'll challenge the idea they're unchanged living fossils. We'll explore the science behind their survival and the surprising tenderness behind their reputation. This is a story about adaptation, resilience, and the balance of life and death. Prepare to have your perceptions shattered. The journey begins by confronting myths head-on. For example, crocodile tears, a centuries-old fabrication. In reality, their tear ducts clean and lubricate the eye, especially after time out of water. And the idea they're slow and clumsy on land is inaccurate. Crocodiles can gallop at surprising speeds for short distances. Understanding these myths helps us appreciate the animal that inspired them, far more impressive than the caricature. Our exploration will take us across the globe, from the murky rivers of Africa to the sprawling wetlands of the Americas and the tropical estuaries of Australia. We will start by meeting the family. Not all crocodilians are the same. True crocodiles, broad-snouted alligators, and caimans. We will even meet the strange and delicate-looking gharial. Each species is a unique masterpiece of evolution, size, skull shape, and even temperament. Next, we will become the ultimate fly on the wall, witnessing the hunt. The crocodile is an apex ambush predator. Stealth, patience, and explosive force. We will dissect the science behind their incredible senses, which allow them to detect the faintest ripple in the water. We will explain the mechanics of their legendary bite force, the strongest in the animal kingdom. And of course, we will break down the infamous death roll, from solitary hunters lying in wait for hours to coordinated team efforts to take down formidable targets. Their strategies are as varied as they are deadly. Then, we will travel back in time. The story of the crocodile is a story of survival against all odds. Their ancestors walked the earth alongside the dinosaurs, and they looked very different from the animals we know today. Some were gigantic marine predators that dwarfed the modern saltwater crocodile, while others were nimble, land-based runners. We will trace their incredible evolutionary journey, showing how they endured the cataclysmic event that wiped out the dinosaurs. Their anatomical conservatism isn't a sign of being primitive. It's a testament to a winning design that has stood the test of millions of years. Finally, we will examine the complex and often fraught relationship between crocodiles and humans. For as long as we have shared the planet's waterways, our paths have crossed, often with tragic results. We will explore how different cultures have viewed these animals as sacred deities to fearsome pests. We will also delve into the critical conservation issues they face today, as habitat loss and human conflict threaten their existence. Understanding these animals is the first step toward coexisting with them. This is a journey to replace fear with respect and myth with knowledge. The clock is ticking. Let's begin. To truly understand these ancient reptiles, we must first learn to tell them apart. The term crocodile is often used as a catch-all, but the crocodilian order is a diverse family with distinct branches. Think of it as a sprawling family tree with four main lineages: true crocodiles, alligators, caimans, gharials. Each group has evolved under different pressures in different parts of the world, resulting in a fascinating variety of shapes, sizes, and temperaments. From the colossal saltwater crocodile patrolling Australian estuaries to the small, secretive caimans of the Amazon, the family resemblance is clear, but the individual identities are strikingly different. The most visible difference lies in their heads, specifically the shape of their snout and the arrangement of their teeth. This is the simplest way for an observer to begin classifying them. True crocodiles generally possess a more pointed, V-shaped snout, a versatile tool for catching a wide range of prey, from fish to large mammals. Alligators and caimans, on the other hand, typically have a wider U-shaped snout, which provides greater crushing power for tackling hard-shelled prey like turtles. When a true crocodile closes its mouth, its large fourth tooth on the lower jaw is prominently visible, fitting into a notch on the outside of the upper jaw. In alligators and caimans, this same tooth is hidden, sliding neatly into a socket within the upper jaw. Their global distribution also tells a story of separation and adaptation over millions of years. True crocodiles are the most widespread: Africa, Asia, the Americas, Australia, having mastered saltwater tolerance, which allowed them to colonize coastlines and islands across the tropics. Alligators are more restricted. American alligator, Chinese alligator. Caimans are exclusively found in the freshwater rivers and wetlands of Central America, South America. And the gharial, a specialist fish eater, is now confined to just a few rivers on the Indian subcontinent. For instance, most true crocodiles possess specialized salt glands on their tongues that allow them to excrete excess salt, a key adaptation for living in brackish or marine environments. Alligators and caimans have these glands too, but they are non-functional, which is why they are almost exclusively freshwater animals. These subtle but crucial biological details determine where they can live, what they can eat, and how they interact with their environment. Each species is a finely tuned product of its evolutionary history, a unique solution to the ancient challenge of survival in a world full of water. When you picture Moving away from the sharp-nosed true crocodiles, we encounter the broad-snouted members of Alligatoridae. This group is split into two main subfamilies, the alligators and the caimans. Their defining feature is that wide, U-shaped snout, a powerful tool for crushing shells and bone. When their mouth is shut, their teeth are largely hidden, giving them a less menacing appearance, though this does little to diminish their predatory prowess. The American alligator is the most famous and successful member of this family. Native to the southeastern United States, it is a true keystone species, an ecosystem engineer. During dry seasons, alligators use their snouts and feet to excavate gator holes, which retain water and become vital refuges for fish, insects, turtles, and birds. These oases ensure the survival of countless other species until the rains return. Once hunted to near extinction for their hides, strong conservation efforts have allowed their populations to rebound dramatically. South of the United States, in the tropical wetlands, the caimans take over. This group includes several species, the most common of which is the spectacled caiman. It gets its name from a bony ridge between its eyes that resembles a pair of spectacles. While generally smaller than alligators, they are incredibly adaptable and widespread. They can thrive in a variety of freshwater habitats, from quiet ponds to vast flooded grasslands. The largest and most formidable of the caimans is the black caiman. Found deep within the Amazon basin, this is the alligator family's answer to the saltwater crocodile. Reaching lengths of over 16 feet, it is the apex predator of the Amazon's rivers and lakes. Its dark coloration provides perfect camouflage in the murky waters as it hunts fish, capybaras, monkeys, and even jaguars that venture too close to the water's edge. The most striking of these is the gharial. Native to the fast-flowing rivers of the Indian subcontinent, the gharial looks almost like a caricature of a crocodile. Its most distinctive feature is its exceptionally long, slender snout. A highly specialized tool perfected for catching fish, its primary food source. The thin snout cuts through the current with minimal resistance, allowing the animal to whip its head sideways with incredible velocity to snap up slippery fish. The male gharial also develops a large, bulbous growth on the tip of its snout as it reaches maturity. This structure, known as a gara, is used to produce buzzing and humming sounds during courtship. On the opposite end of the size spectrum, we find the dwarf crocodiles. The African dwarf crocodile, for instance, rarely exceeds 5 feet in length. Its small size, coupled with its secretive nocturnal habits, allows it to occupy a niche that larger predators cannot. It primarily feeds on small prey like fish, frogs, and crustaceans. Its heavily armored neck and back provide protection from larger predators like leopards, showcasing how even the smallest members of this family are built for survival. Unfortunately, these specialists are often the most vulnerable. The gharial, for example, is critically endangered. Understanding and protecting these unique forms is just as critical as conserving their larger, more famous cousins. They are irreplaceable branches on an ancient evolutionary tree, and their loss would forever diminish the legacy of the crocodilian clan. The core of a crocodile's hunting strategy is the ambush. It is a technique refined over millions of years. Patience, stealth, and explosive power. For a crocodile, time moves differently. They can remain almost perfectly still for hours, even days, waiting for the precise moment to strike. Masters of energy conservation, expending the absolute minimum until that final decisive lunge. A crocodile lying motionless at the water's edge might look like a floating log or a basking reptile. Beneath that calm exterior is a coiled spring of muscle, assessing every movement, every sound, every scent, waiting for an unsuspecting animal to make a fatal mistake and step just one pace too close. This strategy is most effective because of their camouflage. Ridged, armored skin with mottled greens, grays, and browns. Submerged, with only eyes, ears, and nostrils breaking the surface. Nearly invisible, minimal profile to approach prey without alarm. An antelope, a zebra, comes to drink, seeing only a still surface. Inches below, a predator silently tracks its every move, calculating distance and timing its attack with lethal precision. A terrifyingly effective illusion. The price of belief is life itself. Ambush is probability and positioning. Crocodiles understand environmental patterns. They know the game trails and the crossing points used during migrations. They position in high-traffic areas, sink below the surface, and wait. When the moment arrives, the transformation is breathtaking. The lethargic log explodes into violent action. In a fraction of a second, the crocodile launches from the water with astonishing speed, propelled by an immensely powerful tail. That burst of energy is what the waiting was for, a concentrated release of power, aimed with deadly accuracy. Often over before the prey registers the danger. Calm, chaos, inescapable jaws. This shift from stillness to explosive violence, the hallmark of the crocodile's ambush, a primal drama that plays out daily in the world's waterways. A crocodile's ability to lie in ambush is supported by highly sophisticated sensory organs, turning the water around it into a web of information. Their senses are finely tuned for a life spent half in and half out of the water. Their eyes, their ears, their nostrils, positioned on the very top of their head. This allows them to remain almost completely submerged while monitoring the world above. Their eyesight is excellent, especially at night. Behind the retina is the tapetum lucidum. It reflects light back through the eye, causing the distinctive eyeshine in the dark, giving them a huge advantage over their prey in low-light conditions. Beyond sight, their hearing is incredibly acute. They lack external ears but have ear flaps that close when submerged. Beneath those flaps are sensitive eardrums detecting sounds in air and water. They are attuned to low-frequency vibrations, like heavy footfalls approaching the riverbank. This lets them prepare long before the animal is visible. Perhaps the most remarkable adaptation is invisible. Around their jaws are thousands of tiny domes, integumentary sensory organs, or ISOs. ISOs are ultra-sensitive pressure receptors, more sensitive than human fingertips. Submerged, ISOs detect the faintest ripples, from a small fish swimming nearby to a gazelle dipping to drink. Their head becomes a motion detector, letting them strike with pinpoint accuracy in darkness or in water so muddy that sight is useless. It's like a sixth sense for movement. This creates a complete picture, a sensory overload, giving the crocodile an overwhelming advantage. They see the approaching bird. They hear the buffalo's footsteps. They feel the warthog splash. Nothing moves at the water's edge without their knowledge. This network lets them make split-second decisions. Is the prey close enough? Is it the right size? What trajectory is needed? It's the fusion of biological hardware and patient predatory instinct that makes the crocodile a sophisticated, calculated hunter, a master of its aquatic domain. Once a crocodile has launched its ambush and its jaws have found their target, the next phase of the hunt begins. The initial bite is a devastating event in itself. Crocodiles possess the strongest bite force of any living animal, with the saltwater crocodile capable of clamping down with a force of over 3,700 pounds per square inch. Their conical, interlocking teeth are not designed for chewing or slicing like a shark's, but for one purpose: to grip and to hold on. When those jaws close, they are like a powerful, inescapable vice. The immense pressure drives the teeth deep into flesh and bone, ensuring there's no escape from that initial crushing grip. With the prey firmly secured, the crocodile's primary goal is to drag it into the water. Land animals are awkward and clumsy in the water, while the crocodile is in its element. This is a critical shift in the balance of power. The aim is to quickly drown the victim, a more energy-efficient method. For larger prey that cannot be drowned or swallowed whole, the crocodile employs its most infamous technique, the death roll. After securing a firm grip, the crocodile begins to spin rapidly along its axis. This generates immense torsional force, twisting and tearing at the flesh and limbs of the captured animal. The purpose of the death roll is twofold. First, it helps to subdue and disorient a large, struggling victim. Second, and more importantly, it is used to dismember the carcass into smaller, more manageable pieces for consumption. A single crocodile can perform this move, or several crocodiles can grip the same carcass and spin in opposite directions to tear it apart. The death roll is a raw and visceral display of power, a perfect solution to the problem of a crocodile's teeth being unsuited for shearing meat. It is pure physics, applied with savage intent. This lets crocodiles feed on animals far larger than themselves, a strategy that has enabled species like the Nile crocodile and the saltwater crocodile to become the undisputed apex predators of their habitats. It is a violent, efficient, and horrifyingly effective conclusion to the hunt. While the classic image of a crocodile Others, like the bizarre Simosuchus from Madagascar, were likely land-dwelling omnivores, but the most fearsome were the giants. Sarcosuchus imperator, the supercroc, grew to an estimated 40 feet long and weighed around 8 tons. It likely ambushed and ate dinosaurs that came to the river to drink. These creatures were not just surviving in the age of dinosaurs, they were thriving at the very top of the food chain. About 66 million years ago, the world changed forever. The impact triggered a global cataclysm. This plunged the Earth into a prolonged impact winter, causing temperatures to plummet and ecosystems to collapse. This event was the end of the line for an estimated 75% of all species on Earth, including all non-avian dinosaurs. Yet somehow the crocodiles survived. How did they do it? As cold-blooded or ectothermic animals, crocodiles have an incredibly slow metabolism. A crocodile can go for months, and in some cases over a year, without a single meal. In a world where the food chain had completely collapsed, this ability to simply wait out the bad times was a life-saving superpower. Their habitat also played a crucial role. Freshwater river environments proved to be surprisingly resilient refuges. They were based on a food web that relied on detritus, decaying organic matter. While the dinosaurs starved on the surface, crocodiles living in the waterways could scavenge on the abundant carcasses washing into the rivers. So, while the great land-based dinosaurs had nowhere to hide and nothing to eat, the humble crocodile hunkered down in the mud and waited. They were not stronger than the dinosaurs, but they were more resilient. Looking at a crocodile today, it's easy to call it a living fossil. This perception is a profound misunderstanding. The reason they look similar isn't because they stopped evolving. It's because they perfected a design so successful it required little fundamental change. Think of their body plan as a master blueprint for an aquatic ambush predator. This design works. It worked 80 million years ago, and it works today. This does not mean evolution has stopped for them. We see diversification in head shapes. We see the development of salt glands. We see varied social behaviors. This is evolution in action, fine-tuning the master blueprint to local conditions. So the next time you see a crocodile, resist the urge to dismiss it as a primitive relic. You are not looking at a creature that time forgot. You are looking at a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. The crocodile is not a living fossil. It is a living champion. A crocodile's identity is forged by the water it calls home. They are masters of the aquatic world, thriving in an incredible range of environments. This adaptability is the key to their global success. Being cold-blooded is a finely tuned survival strategy. They act like living solar panels, relying entirely on their external environment to regulate their internal temperature. Mouths wide open, gaping, not aggression, a cooling mechanism. Heat radiates from the mouth's blood-rich tissues, much like a dog panting. This back and forth between land and water is their fundamental rhythm, a continuous dance between hot and cold, staying in the perfect metabolic zone, efficient and deadly. It is not a weakness, it is their greatest strategic advantage. The drive to reproduce is a powerful force in the crocodile's world, leading to complex rituals and incredible displays of parental care. As the breeding season begins, males will compete for territories and the right to mate. They establish dominance through intimidating displays. Fights can break out, with males clashing jaws in powerful tests of strength. Once a dominant male has secured his territory, courtship begins. The male and female engage in sensitive interactions, rubbing their snouts together and blowing bubbles, a surprisingly gentle prelude to the continuation of their ancient lineage. After mating, the female faces the critical task of building a nest. Location is paramount, high enough so that it will not be flooded by rising river levels. The incubation period is a time of extreme vulnerability. The mother crocodile is a devoted and ferocious guardian. She will remain near the nest for up to 3 months, ready to defend her future offspring from a host of predators. When the hatchlings are ready to emerge, they begin to make high-pitched yelping sounds from inside the eggs. This is her cue to return and carefully excavate the nest. What happens next is one of the most astonishing displays of tenderness in the animal kingdom. The female will carefully pick up the tiny, vulnerable hatchlings in her massive jaws, the same jaws that can crush bone, and carry them down to the water's edge. For several weeks or even months, the young crocodiles will remain together in a group or creche, protected by their mother from the countless predators. Despite this fierce maternal protection, the odds are stacked against them. Less than 1% of hatchlings will survive to adulthood. It is a brutal start to life. But this is the harsh reality that forges the ultimate survivor. We began this journey by confronting a monster of legend, an armored illusion built from fear and misunderstanding. We saw a creature defined by myth, the mindless killer, the tearful deceiver, the primitive relic. Throughout our exploration, we have systematically dismantled that caricature, replacing it with a far more impressive and complex reality. We have seen that the crocodile is not just a brute, but a sophisticated strategist. The mindless eating machine of legend has been replaced by a calculated, adaptable, and sometimes cooperative predator of formidable intelligence. A creature of surprising complexity, capable of both savage violence and gentle care. The monster has been replaced by a mother, a hunter, a survivor. By peeling back the layers of myth, we have found an animal that is infinitely more compelling and worthy of our admiration than the one-dimensional beast of our nightmares ever was. Today, the greatest threat to the crocodile is not a changing climate or a new predator, but us. Habitat loss, driven by agriculture and urban development, is squeezing them into ever smaller pockets of their former range. Thankfully, there are stories of hope. The remarkable comeback of the American alligator proves that it can be done. In many parts of the world, sustainable ecotourism, provides local communities with a powerful economic incentive to protect crocodiles and their habitats. Ultimately, the key to coexistence is to replace fear with respect. As apex predators, they are keystone species that maintain the health and balance of our planet's waterways. A river with a healthy crocodile population is a healthy river. The next time you see a crocodile, look past the teeth and the armor. See the survivor of mass extinctions, the sophisticated hunter, the devoted parent, the master of its environment. These are not monsters to be feared, but ancient wonders to be respected and protected. Their future is now intertwined with our own, and ensuring they have a place in the world tomorrow is a testament to our wisdom and humanity today.